Before I got pregnant, I was a student at LSU, just doing whatever I wanted, partying. I was living at my mom's house, not really listening to her rules. She was telling me come home at 10, I wouldn't come home till like 2. Just doing whatever I wanted pretty much, living life.
Well, it was a great shock because it's not at all what we wanted for her. And part of it is selfishness because you don't want it for yourself either. It's not what you dream for your children. And it was very hard to come to terms with. It was, I guess, the culmination of some progressive rebellion that we saw in her. And we hoped that this was going to be her rock bottom, I guess, so that she could start to climb out of it.
Well, my mom and I were already having a tough time, and she already kicked me out pretty much. She told me don't come back because my boyfriend at the time, who's Jackson's father, we went to Florida without even telling my mom. I just went, and she found out and was like, don't come back here. So I didn't, and then the next day I took a pregnancy test, found out I was pregnant, and she was like, well, you still can't come back here. You're not coming back here. So at that time I went to a family friend's house and stayed there for a few weeks and didn't really know what I was going to do. And my dad had told me about Danielle N, but I wasn't having it. I was like, no, I'm not going to go do that.
When she became pregnant, I remember talking with her though and telling her, you've wanted, to be and act as an adult, and now you've given yourself a very big adult decision that you have to make. And it was entirely her decision whether to keep the baby, have the baby and put it up for adoption, or become a mother.
But then I thought more about it and what I was going to do with my life and my child, and I looked at the website, and just something inside of me just knew, okay, that's where you need to be. And I felt at peace about it. And then I applied online and came over here.
I think it was hard for us because she wasn't at a good place in her life to take care of herself. And we were very fearful how she was going to take care of another little human being. And so we knew that she would be a great mom one day, but we didn't feel she was ready at this point in her life to take on that big of a challenge.
When I found out I was pregnant, my family kind of shut me out more so than I already was shut out. They were like, you're on your own for this. Don't even ask for help. And they weren't really there for me. And then I came here to Danielle N, and my mom started coming around a little bit more because she saw that I was making decisions for myself. I was going on the right path in her eye.
This offered great hope for her, that somebody that in the family wasn't trying to solve her problems, because she didn't really want to listen to family, but somebody other than us to help her was I think a great thing, and the way their systems and set up, that they could really be helpful to her.
And my father we were still not very good. He came to visit once or twice, but he was still pushing me for adoption. And then, came time to have Jackson, and I had the baby, and it was really bad right after I had the baby. He was very upset that I didn't place the baby. He didn't want anything to do with the baby. And then one day I just said, Dad, can Jackson and I come over? And we went over there, and Dad met Jackson, and he healed all those relationships. All those wounds were just automatically healed. Now my dad calls me all the time, can you bring Jackson over? And it's just amazing how one little baby can do all of that.
I see a lot of Claire in him, and I see myself in some baby pictures in him. He has a wonderful disposition. He is not at all a fussy baby. He seems very open to people in general.
It's been an adjustment for sure. At first it was a big adjustment, but it's also been awesome because I've gotten to see all the things that Danielle N has taught me and put it into effect and in my daily life. I talk about Jesus pretty much every day with a client, And I tell them about this place and how awesome it is. And I think that this place taught me how to be more responsible and grow up a lot.